On today's child seat video, we're taking a look at the 2015 Volkswagen Golf. Although the model we're taking a look at right here is the eGolf, or the electric version, the child seat review applies to both the gasoline and the electric models. That's because Volkswagen did not make any major structural changes in order to convert this to the electric vehicle. Most notably, unlike some of those other electric conversions, we don't have any changes to legroom or headroom figures in the back seat. As usual, I have a Graco Classic Ride 50 child seat here. This is a convertible seat suitable for forward or rearward facing installation and children between 4 and 50 pounds. The reason we use a Graco Classic Ride seat for this review is because it's very average sized. That means it is possible to find both narrower or wider child seats out there, and depending on what vehicle you're going to stick the child seat in, that is an important thing to keep in mind. As usual, the first step is to move the front seat as far forward as I safely can to maximize the room for the child seat in the rear. We have a surprising amount of legroom for a vehicle the Golf size. I'm going to move this seat so I have about an inch between my knees and the dashboard. I'm also going to put the front seat in as upright of a position as is comfortable. Even though the Golf is a relatively small car, I am able to properly and safely install this Graco Classic Ride 50 seat in the rearward position, sitting right here behind myself. That's because we have a little bit more legroom back here than you might realize. Headroom is also very generous in the back of the Golf. Because of the width of the Golf, things get a little bit tricky when I start putting two child seats in the back. You'll notice that the center child seat is not actually in the center of the rear bench seat. That's because it's just not as wide as something like a Passat. Because we're looking at the eGolf, you will find more interior room also in something like a Nissan Leaf. When it comes to anchor points, we have latch anchors for the outboard seating positions and top tether anchors for all three seats. However, the top tether anchor for this center seat is very close to the center seat. It actually is in a different position than the outboard seats because we get a pass-through right here in the middle of the bench rather than a 40-20-40 folding seat. Well, that does mean it's a lot easier to put two people in the back and put things like skis right up front. It means it's a lot trickier to install child seats in this middle seat. That's because many of the seats out there use enormous buckles like this Graco Classic Ride 50 seat does, and if I latch that onto that child seat anchor, there just isn't enough room for that anchor to do a whole lot for me. The seat should only move about half an inch if you tug on it very firmly, and this seat moves about 2 inches even when this buckle is completely latched up. This top tether anchor situation is a problem, but it's not a problem unique to the Golf. Many vehicles out there do this as well, so you will need to find a child seat with a much shorter buckle. They can be found, and that will allow you to safely install it in the center. Because of the width of this rear bench seat, I was not able to fit 3 child seats across the back. As usual, cargo hauling is very practical in the Golf because we have a relatively vertical rear hatch. It makes it a lot easier to fit large cargo in the back. I have a 24-inch and a 26-inch roller bag back here. I could not fit the 26-inch roller bag in a more upright position, but I could fit the 24-inch roller bag in that position. In the eGolf, there is some additional storage space under the load floor because we don't have a spare tire. Overall, I had absolutely no problem fitting child seats in the rear cargo area because of its general size. If you're looking at a vehicle like this, you will find a little bit more room in the cargo area in something like a Kia Soul. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. Again, I'm Alex Dykes, and this has been the 2015 Volkswagen eGolf. You will find a dedicated review on the eGolf on my channel, as well as a dedicated review on the gasoline Golf coming up in about 3 weeks. In the meantime, browse on over to facebook.com/AlexandAutos, twitter.com/AlexandAutos, and you can always email your questions to alex@alexandautos.com. Subscribe, and I'll see you next week.